Take him.
Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Thank you for saving me. You're my hero.
Together, as we face the challenges during the new normal, always remember that fire safety begins with you.
So, for the sake of the viewers who've just tuned in, this morning's show aims to put a spotlight on the importance of fire safety in the home. Quite often, citizens solely dial 990 in the face of emergencies, not knowing what one should do next in the midst of their fears and panic. Helping us navigate our next move through effective evacuation plans are Firefighter Lana Maria Belgrove of the Southern Department and Acting Fire Substation Officer Joel Romano of the Northern Department of the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. Welcome, officers, to the AM Prime Show.
Good morning,
Mr. Edwards. Good morning, viewers.
So we're just going to jump straight into it. An effective evacuation plan. What does that entail, especially for someone who is completely unaware of where to even begin? And I will pose this to you, Officer Belgrove.
Yes, thank you very much, Nikoli. So an effective evacuation plan. In order for an evacuation plan to be effective, you need to have one. You need to practice it so that you're going to know what you're supposed to be doing. So an evacuation plan is a predetermined course of action. Now I'm saying predetermined because you need to chart out what you plan to do before an incident takes place. This predetermined plan is designed to take you from an area of danger to an area of safety.
Yes.
So what you need to do, you need to chart out what we are going to do in the event of an emergency. We need to be mindful that business places, companies, industries all need to have evacuation plans that their employees and staff are familiar with in order to receive life safety certification. But we don't ever think about doing the same thing for our homes in an attempt to protect our families. So there are some steps you need to follow in order to have an effective evacuation plan. First thing you need to do is sound an alarm. Now, ideally, if you have the equipment, which would be a smoke detector, the detector would go off. It would make a loud noise in the event of an emergency. This is to alert you, to awake you if you are asleep, or to call you from the area of the home that you are in. So when this alarm goes off, you know automatically that something is amiss. At this point in time, you call 990. Now, we realized in the video, the wife was asking, what's the number? The number is 990. We must be aware of it. We must teach it to the children, put it on the fridge on a magnet, write it on the wall, put it on, identify it in your home for them to be able to call 990. The challenge we have is often, too many times, persons don't call 990 while leaving the building. And so they are thinking that, okay, I need to leave the building, but I'm not calling 990. If you don't call 990 as the occupant of that home, by the time your neighbors or a passerby or a runner, as we call them, someone who just sees what is taking place, by the time they see smoke emanating from the building, it's because your home is already on the way to being destroyed. So it's a almost simultaneous reaction. As soon as you hear that alarm, you know something is up, you dial 990, and then you start to evacuate the building. As the adults in the home, the responsible person, you are responsible for ensuring that the younger ones and the children leave the building safely, leave your home safely. We implore you to encourage the children not to hide under the bed, not to hide in the shower, especially if the fire may have been started by them, either playing with matches or doing something they weren't supposed to be doing. So the first thing you do, you raise an alarm. If you have no smoke detector, you are shouting, fire, 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 in an attempt to alert the other occupants. You dial 990 as you're leaving the house. When you're leaving the house, You're looking around, you're calling out to the children, you're just pushing the doors by the bathroom. Anybody in here? You're pushing the doors by the bedroom. Anybody in here? Just to ensure that no one is hiding, to ensure that you don't have an elderly person who, when the alarm tripped, they may have fainted, they may have passed out. Someone has to be responsible for doing that quickly, yet effectively.
Sure.
And as you're leaving the house now, you're going outside to an area of what we call the muster point, an area of safety, away from the fire, where everyone is supposed to gather. Now remember, this is a predetermined plan, Nikoli and viewers. So if we had planned it before, we know that the muster point is the mango tree across the road by Miss Mary.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so everyone is going to the mango tree by Miss Mary. So when we get there, Mommy is going to say, Nikoli is here, Joel is here, Lana is here, Tom is here. And that she's taking what we call a roll call. So she's making sure that all of the occupants of the house are out safely, so that when the fire service comes, she's going to liaise with the officer in charge, indicate to him that, okay, everyone is out. So we know we're going in on a firefighting mission versus a firefighting and rescue mission.
Understood.
So sound an alarm, call the fire service at 990, evacuate the building in a safe manner. Again, we're highlighting safe manner because we don't want a casualty while we are evacuating the building.
Understood. And if I could just bring in Officer Romano, because I know time, unfortunately, has escaped us. But these kinds of planning exercises, can the average household depend on the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service to assist in this regard? So let's say you have persons who are unaware of how to go about it. As much as they're getting the information right now, but they still feel comfortable knowing that an officer is kind of helping them devise their plan. Are these services available, whether formally or informally, with the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service?
Yes, Nikoli. We at the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service, we make an effort to have all persons informed of the proper procedures from detecting the fire to eventual evacuation of their premises.
Yes.
In order to achieve this, what we do is you can contact your station, you can contact the fire prevention section, and arrangements could be made. Preferably, we would deal with groups rather than individuals.
Yes.
The
yes,
process for evacuation is always simple, but it is determined by your individual situation. A person who lives in a house, let's say 600 square feet, as opposed to someone who lives in a home that is 2,000 square feet and multi-story. All this must be taken into consideration.
Yes. Unfortunately, I mean, we've shared a lot of information during the course of the show, and I would have loved to continue the discussion, especially on the evacuation plan, but I think that it was laid out so beautifully that people should be able to take away the important information and be able to apply it. So let me just say thank you so much for all of you joining us this morning, sharing your different insights and helping prepare Trinidad and Tobago when it comes to fire safety and prevention. Your service, I know a lot of the times it goes unrecognized. You're unsung heroes, but I can say that we here at AM Prime and WESN really and truly appreciate your service, and we commend you for all the good work that you're doing to help protect Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Nikoli.
Excellent.
Thanks, Mr. Edwards. Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago.
And that's how we wrap up this morning's show. Unfortunately, time has run out from us, but we were able to get a lot of information. Continue to stay safe, sanitize, prevent any opportunity from contracting COVID-19. And I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow again. Have a productive day.